comment on like how good JoJo openings are, especially the first like 4 where they're 3D animated.
Yeah.
They look so amazing.
And then they didn't do that until part 6, and then everyone's like, "Holy fuck, it's back!"
I did not know that they did that for Stone Ocean.
Yes, and it's cool as fuck.
What do you guys think is the best JoJo opening?
Ah, fuck.
You know, that's tough because all of them have like their really nice gimmicks. Like
That's fair.
like part 2 of like the second opening of part 4.
You like that one?
Well, actually, yeah, part 4 has 3 openings. I fucking forgot.
Yeah, fuck.
Damn.
Because then again, they also have like a second version of an opening. You know.
Yeah, because
To
there's
start-
a crazy, noisy, bizarre town, Chase, and then
Chase.
Great Days.
Great Days. Oh yeah. Oh right. I was talking about Great Days.
Okay, I was about to
Great
say
Days
like
is
Chase is
dope.
not my favorite.
I
No,
was like,
no.
Chase is cool. It's probably my least favorite, but I still like it.
Yeah. Nah, but yeah, but Great Days is well great, but
Great
I'm-
Days is cool as fuck.
it is
Especially when they were like, why don't we do the hypest thing we could possibly do and have basically every singer just do it for like the big one.
yeah, and then everything gets rewinded.
Yes.
Like it has like
Although I
3
still-
variations.
What?
Yeah, there's the regular, and then I think the special one is just the rewind, and they do a singing like the singers, the openings.
And,
Yeah.
and the last one is also like the rewind, but all the characters turn around at the very end because they spotted Kira.
I think so.
I love that.
I think I got rewatch those openings.
That's fair. I want to say though, like I saw the 4K version of the first opening, and I might be a fan now.
I mean, the first opening's iconic.
It is.
It is.
Since
Like
it kinda
again,
shows,
most JoJo openings are just iconic, but that one
Yeah.
in particular, because it's a very strong opening.
though it was like a pretty interesting, choice to show like manga panels like pop out.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
goes
good.
through all the lineage like backwards until it reaches Jonathan,
Yeah.
and that's real fucking cool.
Yeah, it was around the time where
Also,
Stone Ocean was out.
Well, no, the anime came out 2012, and by then I think Araki just started JoJolion.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
My mistake. Well, actually, I think it was didn't it come out sooner in Japan, or am I mistaken?
No, well, I think anime even back in 2012 was pretty consistently coming out pretty easily, like even with fan translation.
I think you're
stuff,
probably right.
Like
Yeah,
we weren't too far off even back then.
that's fair.
Not like simulcast dubs. That was not 2012. That's for fucking sure. But sub, yeah.
That's true.
Like the fucking pirates at Crunchyroll were fine doing that. You know,
I love them.
they're great.
You know,
Fantastic
think about
company.
it. Yeah, now I think about it, it took a long ass time for JoJo to get like a proper anime, huh?
Yeah, I guess in comparison to when it released, which was like 86. God.
Yeah, that
So-
and the OVA for part 3 was released first out in terms of anime.
Right, in like the 90s. That's technically like the first thing. Like
Yeah.
animated.
I mean, technically there was supposed to be a OVA of part 1, but that's
I think
lost
it was
media.
a movie. And it was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is just not coming together.
Yeah,
We're gonna just scrap it.
it is
It had 6 episodes of the OVA, if I'm not mistaken.
for
Oh,
part
for
3.
part 3? Yeah.
Yeah. So it tried.
It's high.
No, honestly, it has like some really hype moments in that one.
That's fair. I guess we could get into this whole Phantom Blood and Battle Tendency kind of thing. So geez, I'm gonna ask Fenix first because I think he has a shorter answer. How much of JoJo have you actually like watched?
Okay,
Or like I
watched.
guess read or experienced?
I'd say up to part 7, some of part 8.
Okay. And Dublin, I'm assuming you're all caught up.
No, actually,
Oh,
technically
okay.
speaking, because I've gone through everything of 1 through 7, most of 8. I should have finished that a long time ago, and it's some of 9.
Okay. On on my end, oh god, I'm so scattered. I've watched all the way up to part 4. I watched like 3, 4 episodes of part 5, and I read halfway through Stone Ocean.
Okay.
So I'm a little more behind and I'm way more scattered, but
Oh, well, I
I'm here
mean,
to talk about a JoJo fan, guys.
at least you're not a part skipper.
No,
I don't care about part skippers. I think it gets I honestly, I think people get too anal about, like, experiencing it the right order. Like, I don't give a shit.
No,
Experience
but
the thing you want to experience first, and then you can always go back. People think that's just like, oh, the sanctity, and like I can understand the appeal of like, oh, experiencing the thing chronologically because you can see the evolution
mhm.
if you care about that. But some people don't give a fuck, and if they want to experience Steel Ball Run first, I'm not gonna bitch about it. I'm like, cool,
Well,
you have fun.
Steel Ball Run, that kind of makes sense since it's a new
Hell,
universe,
if
so
they
you'll need
wanted to
context for
experience
the prior parts.
if they want to experience Stone Ocean first, I'm not gonna bitch at it. I'm like, whatever. Just do what they want. It's their life. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, they're just missing like a lot of context if
You
they're
can fill in the blanks if you want, and I don't think it's so fucking crucial. Sure, I think it's more of a richer experience, I suppose,
Mhm.
if you had like context for like part 3, for instance, for part 6. But like, I don't think like the appeal of JoJo is like the battles, stands, the abilities, and the characters. And sometimes the characters are from past parts, but like a lot of times the parts have their own individualized core cast. They're
true.
situated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Albeit some parts have more connections to other parts than others.
true, true. Like the most disconnected part by far of the original 6, like 5, you can kind of get
Part
away
5,
with
yeah.
not watching too much of any other parts.
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
Generally
seven's the
speaking.
fresh start, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
true.
it's a new universe. Yeah.
It does lean into references, but it is just fan service at the end of the day, especially ending.
I
But
think
yeah,
Yeah.
you can technically start with 7, I suppose, because of that.
I think it'd be the funniest to start at 2.
That would be kind of funny.
You kind of have to go out of
Kind
your
of.
way because it's in the middle of like the season 1.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
it's the anime, but if it's the manga, that's a different story. But
True.
who reads manga? Lol.
I guess this is a good time to get into it. Of like, I want to say, were you the first person to experience JoJo Dublin, like to watch it, or was that
Probably.
Phoenix?
No, I think that was Dublin.
Okay,
I I watched it when I was like senior year or so of high
See,
school, so like
20.
10 years ago.
All right.
I think we watched it together with the other lads at one point. Like we watched like a few episodes.
I
I think I remember we were watching like the first season at my house back then.
Yeah,
I don't remember that part.
I
That's blank.
it was kind of a blur, to be fair.
I
Yeah.
remember doing that with Monster Musume, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
famously so.
Famously so.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so yeah, Phoenix, do you remember when you experienced JoJo? Because it's been such a long time since I watched part 1 for the first time.
Uh, let's see. If I were to give a exact year, I'd say it's around like 2013 or so, or 2014.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the time we watched it at my house.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
after that moment, I think it did take me like a year or so. Mostly because of the following question. Dublin, how highly do you think of JoJo? How much do you like it?
I was really fucking annoying about it for a long time when I first watched it. At least part 3. I think with part 1 and 2, I was like, oh, this is neat. It was really part 3 that made me fall in love. And then ever since, I've been kind of obsessed about it to a certain extent, especially for a couple years after part 3, watching and then reading all the manga because I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Well, now in current year, do you consider it one of your favorite manga slash anime?
Part 7 still my favorite manga of all time.
Okay.
It left a really big impression on me. And part 3 I still love dearly.
All right.
Even if it may be the most simplistic of the stand parts.
Uh,
With parts 4 through 6, it's weird because my brain wasn't great back then, but I still have a fondness for all those parts.
That's fair.
Especially like part 5
yeah.
I've grown to really like.
So would you say that JoJo's like peak fiction to you?
If it hits my brain right. Like like I unfortunately did not finish part 8, but when JoJo's good or great, it is peak. I
I
love
agree.
the shit out of
Yeah.
it. I eat it up. And even when it's bad, I can fucking deal with that shit. Cause like the worst it can get is like, oh, that was kind of mid. There's some rough parts, like there's some parts I don't love as much, like Battle Tendency, the popular part, I have some like iffiness about it because for one, I don't love Haman as much.
Hmm.
Just
I,
in
I
just
have more reasons.
I'd say there's like a few parts, few things from part 4 that kind of felt slow to me.
yeah, that's true. Part 4 does not get going, and it doesn't help that it has like a villain first who kind of sucks ass. And that's kind of the point.
Hmm.
That
I mean,
rocker guy just sucks. He sucks so bad. The coolest thing about him is like his
yeah.
stand. That's it.
Or the guy who lives on like a power line, since it felt
That
kind of
that was There's
inconsequential.
some fights in part 4 that are cool, and that was one of them. It can be kind of fucking frustrating. Like sometimes uh some parts can be more consistent about fight quality than others.
Yeah, it's just
Um
that whole plot kind of felt inconsequential to like the bigger story.
I guess so. Like at least with part 3, it is pretty focused on like fuck, these
Yeah,
the minions of fucking Dio. Fuck.
true.
Well, part 4, it does kind of lean into that slice of life thing, and that is the appeal of part 4. But it does come at the cost of like, I don't know, man. We're just fighting this asshole kid. Fuck him. And then it has nothing to do with the main plot, which for some part of it, it does not have a main plot for a bit of part 4, or it switches gears to be like, oh fuck, we gotta have another villain. Let's make one of the best villains of all time. I'm just gonna do that. And then
That's
he
just
made
because it's
Kira.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not as big on part 4 as others, but
Mhm.
it like I said, when it's good, it's really fucking good.
Yeah,
Like
I
Kira's
agree
one of
with
the
that.
best villains of all time, easily.
Yeah. Though
Eh, yeah,
it is like amazing how, despite Kira being one of the best villains of all time, he's pretty much a small time villain in terms of his motivations.
that's true. It is quaint where all he wants to do is basically get away with murder the whole time of like,
Mhm.
but also chill out and be like, ah, yeah, I love getting away
Yeah.
with murder.
I mean,
This is awesome.
he doesn't want to like operate a mafia or take over the
No,
world. He
no,
just
that would be a drag. He'd be like, this sucks. I want to go to work and like jack off to a woman's hand of a woman's hand I killed. That's all he
Mhm.
wants.
I mean, he's got the stand that's perfect for getting rid of the evidence too.
Yes, where it's just like I will literally explode all evidence of misdeeds easily. It's real fucking cool, man. Right, we were talking going
I
to
was
talk
like,
about
I'm you guys were having so
yeah.
much fun, and then I didn't want to spoil it by talking about Phantom Thread.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
I
like
mean,
Phantom
I'm being an
Blood.
asshole. I'm being an
yeah,
asshole. Okay,
I
no, no.
like
Phoenix,
I mean,
Phoenix, how highly do you think of JoJo?
I think of JoJo. Well,
Yes.
I mean, it is. Well, it's like a very fun read. And like what Dublin says, there's like a lot of very good highs and a few lows, but they're not bad lows. They just felt slow when progressing to the story.
All right.
I mean, I'll be mean to part 6 for a second. Some of the lows of part 6 can be really fucking bad. I don't want to fucking read Yo Mama Mama again, but I'll probably have to one day. I'm like, oh, I hate that art. That art fucking
Mm.
sucks.
I mean, that's the whole point of the stand, just to annoy the hell out of you.
Ugh.
Just
Or Dragon's Dream, that fucking fight
Dragon Stream.
sucks.
Oh
Where it's
yeah,
just like I'm just RNG. It's like
RNG.
great.
Or it's kind of like Feng Shui, where you have to be at the right place at the right time, and if you're not, then you kind of get screwed over.
Yeah.
As for me, JoJo Stardust Crusaders is probably one of my top 10 favorite anime.
Interesting.
Me too.
Yeah, I love JoJo. And I'm not ashamed to admit it, despite the meme burnout and the weird hate boner that people have for JoJo sometimes.
I think
I like
that's just
JoJo.
staying popular. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Though
also,
it,
certain fans can be annoying. I can
yeah.
be one of them at times.
Though
Yeah.
it is very, yeah. Though it is very interesting how JoJo does its fights, where it's not all about power levels, but just trying to figure out what the enemy does.
Yeah.
I think it's unique to that and compared to other shonen.
Yeah.
So, as we know, JoJo came out in the 1980s, which is crazy to think about because this is probably one of the oldest manga I think I actually kind of know of. This like is in the same era of Dragon Ball. It's kind of insane how old Phantom Blood in particular is, because it came right after Fist of the North Star, right? That was kind of the main inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for this to be such a beloved manga for so long, only for it to finally properly get into a good adaptation, thanks to David Production in 2012, is kind of insane. Because I think they gave it like 2 shots, maybe 3. And I guess then they never flew.
Yeah.
So yeah, David Production knocked it out of the park. And the man of the hour, Mr. Araki Hirohiko, or people just call him Araki generally, was someone born in the 1960s. So he clearly grew up with the inspirations of like Fist of the North Star. And that's kind of where his starting point was when it comes to how he wanted to develop JoJo as a mangaka. So here I also have his earlier works, which, disclaimers, I have not even bothered reading these, which
I
is
haven't either.
Gorgeous Irene was his very first one, which is crazy to think that his first manga was about a female character. Ironically,
Not bad about it, I swear.
and then in 1984, he released or he made Botch. I think this had like maybe 2 volumes. I kind of forgot, but this was the earliest form of stands, and it's clear like he kind of had this idea of stands even way back then, but he kind of wanted to go for like, I'm gonna make JoJo Phantom Blood a more Fist of the North Star story. But I guess over time he kind of wanted to add some of these old elements back into his mainline series of JoJo. And ever since his success in 1986 with JoJo, he's pretty much been coasting on that manga with a couple one-shots here and there.
Yeah, and a lot of the one-shots is like, I'm going to use my OC Rohan for that.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I really do like his side stories with Rohan, and also the after story with Kira.
Yeah.
They're pretty fun.
But
Yeah.
I feel like the reason why you can kind of coax with JoJo is like every part's like its own distinct thing. It's not like fucking One Piece where it's like one fucking big ass story that is all connected. And it's like crazy.
You're kind of limited when you have a cast.
They are connected, but loosely, depending on the part, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, luckily Araki's pretty good at writing interesting new characters.
Yeah.
Well, how about we start with the first one then, which is the Phantom Blood cast.
Right.
Like it's kind of rough to see this and be like, yeah, Dio's basically the main character of Phantom Blood.
I mean, he kind of is.
Yeah.
Like, he is basically the fucking guy who starts everything.
Hmm.
And just because he's a fucking asshole.
I've heard the description that Dio is basically the main character in the first half of Phantom Blood.
Yeah, because like a lot of it is like he does like everything, like because Jonathan was doing fine, the family was doing great, and then the inciting incident was just Dio showing the fuck up and be like, I'm being your brother now.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that
and
basically falls through until he becomes a vampire, and then it becomes more about Jonathan being like, I gotta stop Dio, man. I gotta do
yeah,
something.
it man, it doesn't really help that George started doting on Dio and said, "Oh, Jonathan, you should be more like Dio. He's not acting like a spoiled little kid."
Right.
George kind of sucks. Not gonna lie.
I don't know. I'm gonna cut George some
Yeah.
slack.
I mean, he is a strict dad, but he does want the best for Jonathan, and Jonathan was was a pretty pampered boy back then.
Yeah. Because part of why Dio hates like Jonathan is like this fucking little bitch, pampered little fuck. Well, I had to deal with being in poverty with a shitty fucking alcoholic dad, and the only person I seemingly cared about, my mom, is dead and has been dead for years.
I think his goal is just to take over the Joestar estate, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it was. Yeah,
yeah,
I mean
like
that's why he was poisoning George during his
yeah,
later years,
right.
and oh yeah, and that's why he was also trying to become a lawyer.
Dio, man, alternate universe Dio becoming a lawyer. That would have been crazy.
I think he would make a really good prosecutor.
He
Oh
would.
yeah. So kind of a cool setting too that this took place kind of like in the 1880s in Britain. Uh
Yeah,
I always love it when any story tries to go outside Japan because Araki could have easily made this like I'm gonna set this in Edo, Tokyo, whatever, right?
right.
But no, he
Yeah.
went in on a different setting, which I kind of appreciate.
No, no. I think he only went into Japan once, and that was just
Twice.
twice, right? The beginning of part 3 and part 4.
Yeah,
And then
Yeah,
part 8, technically.
part 8 technically. Oh, yeah. Uh,
yeah. But yeah, no, I think it's a cool setting. Even though you don't see much of Britain, I do like it that it's pretty self-contained in its setting. I think I always appreciate those parts a lot more in retrospect. I think the only
Yeah.
other part that kind of uses its multiple locations to its advantages is Stardust Crusaders. I think Battle Tendency kind of did it poorly, and I'll get into that later.
Okay.
But yeah, this is the tough part with Phantom Blood, right? Is that there's really only 2.5 characters, and that's Jonathan Dio, and the other half character is maybe Speedwagon, and maybe Zeppeli.
he's got to explain everything.
Yeah.
You know, at first I was like, I didn't get the love of Speedwagon, but I kind of get it where he's just like the appeal of Speedwagon is he's the ride or die.
Yeah.
Like he's Jonathan's guy.
Kind of to
Honestly,
a comical degree.
honestly, I
It-
love Speedwagon's reaction to Dio. I mean, of his first meeting with Dio, where it's like, "Oh no, this boy is born evil. I know it in my
yeah,
blood."
I've been on the fucking streets. I know shit when I see it. Like
It-
at first, before Jonathan, like fucking Speedwagon was a rascallion fucker, being like, fuck you, guy. I'm gonna goddamn get your money, fucker. And then
yeah,
Jonathan just beats him up, and he's just like, oh, you spared me. I
yeah,
owe you my life now.
yeah. I mean, he knows that with Jonathan's strength, he could beat his ass harder, but
Yes, but Jonathan, being the little guy he is spiritually, was like, no, that'd be fucked up. I don't want to
yeah,
do that. Well, like he's 7'8", and he's like, no, I don't want to beat up this like 5'9" guy. That'd be fucked up.
That kind of reminds me how ridiculous I remember when we were all watching JoJo in the same room all the while back. I remember we were all laughing at the like ridiculousness that kind of JoJo introduces you into, which is that these like really swole ass teenagers playing shit like soccer.
That was funny.
yeah.
Where I think it was literally like everyone else was normal size, generally speaking, and then Jonathan and Dio were like titans.
Oh
You're
wait,
like,
it was
Jesus Christ.
yeah. Oh wait, it wasn't soccer. It was rugby back then.
Same fucking difference.
British soccer. My apologies.
No, British football.
Right.
Oh,
But yeah, this is why I wanted to maybe just comment a little bit what you said earlier, Dublin, about the skipping JoJo parts. And honestly, like if you're coming in already knowing about JoJo and what you want to watch, then you don't need to hear anything from anyone. So don't worry about that part. But if someone new comes in and says, I want to experience JoJo, the reason I always recommend start with Phantom Blood is because like Araki, you're being introduced to kind of Araki's weirdness in the most mellow way possible with Phantom Blood, and it only escalates until I'd say it peaks around. It's roughly the same from part 5 and onward, I'd say.
yeah, because like the most weirdest thing is like sometimes Will Zeppeli gets a little weird about things of like, and he also like breaks a rock with not hurting a frog, and you're like, oh wow, that was a little weird.
Yeah.
But it's like Phantom Blood's pretty straight laced, much like Jonathan, where it's just like very serious, very dire. Like there's some moments of levity, especially when Zeppeli's involved, but a lot of it's just like, oof, man, Dio's a fucker and he's doing some shit.
I think it's
I gotta
only.
stop him.
I was gonna say, I think it's only serious relative to other JoJo parts, but when you really put like Phantom Blood next to other anime, it's pretty
It
goofy.
is a stark difference.
Like Dio alone and how much like meme potential he had in the first 2 episodes is insane.
Oh yeah.
Like you get I mean, it's hard to escape JoJo without talking about the memes, right? But like there's a reason they became memes because the jokes popped off so much in that moment of like, it's me, Dio. Burning Danny is I guess a meme in its own right.
It's so fucking petty he did that.
Yeah. It's just like there's so much I guess absurdity going on in JoJo, bizarreness some may say, that it's kind of hard not to see it.
It's played straight in Phantom Blood, where in other parts it can be played straight, but other times it is like, isn't this shit a little goofy?
Yeah,
That's
so
true.
out of context, asking someone how many bread you've eaten in your life does sound a little bit goofy.
It does go kind of hard though.
Will is probably the most goofiest character, but he's still pretty serious, all things considered.
Yeah, but like in context, you understand why he asked that question.
Right.
I don't know. I'd say it goes kind of hard.
Yeah,
I really like that line.
Right. That was Dio where he's just like, oh, it just shows he doesn't give a fuck about anybody.
yeah.
Like,
Since he
like,
doesn't
the same thing
he
with
doesn't really
Life is
count the amount of
Strange.
people. Yeah, he doesn't really count the amount of people he ate during his time as a vampire.
And Will's like, oh, no, I don't think it's Will. Or was it Will?
No,
Where
it
he's like,
was
oh, you piece
it
of
was Will
shit.
Zeppeli who asked that question.
Okay.
One of the most serious moments, in at least for me, in Phantom Blood was Dio ordering a mother to eat her own baby. That was wild.
No, he did not order a mother to eat her own baby.
What was the context?
No, the mother sacrificed herself so that her baby wouldn't be turned into a vampire.
Oh, was that it?
And then Dio just lets it happen.
Was that it?
And
well,
then,
all right.
I mean,
wasn't it like she became a vampire to save her kid, and then
it was.
Or like a zombie or a ghoul, and then she's like, it'd be kind of fucking funny as a ghoul, you eat your kid.
Yeah, but he didn't exactly tell her to eat her kid.
It just kind of happened. He was like very like, yeah, this is kind of awesome. Like Dio in part 1 just kind of fucks around at times. Like literally he makes like a guy dog thing.
Yeah. Oh,
why? Because he fucking could. That's why.
Yeah. Didn't he make like a tentacle monster zombie? I can't remember.
Something like that. Dio like part 1 just does shit because he can. Part of it's because he's like what, 18? And he became a vampire of power. Of course he's gonna fuck around and find out with some shit.
True. I mean, that's how he got his eye. He figured out that he could shoot lasers out of his eyes.
Yeah, like during the fight with Jonathan, he was just figuring shit out, and he's like, "Oh fuck, I can do this. I didn't know that. Fuck."
Yeah. Or I could actually freeze people by touching them.
Good to know. Killed the guy with that.
Yeah.
Legendary dire moment.
Yeah,
True. The fucking
thunder split attack.
Yeah, nothing can dodge that attack. It has both offense and defense.
The perfect
Yeah.
one.
If only he would have killed him.
Yeah.
I was rolling through the character list and I completely forgot about Poco here. This kid that
I
kind of
remember
helps out.
him.
You do?
Mhm.
Okay.
I remember because he's pretty integral to like the Tarkus and like Bufford fight,
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
where that's like a lot of like part one. It's a blur, at least for like there's the beginning, which is pretty memorable. Then there's the middle. The only thing I can really remember is like the Tarkus and like Bulford fight
The
and
mansion
Poco.
fight was great.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
but like there's like three parts of like the ending, or no, the beginning, middle, and end, where and then everything else is like a blur with like I don't know, like oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jack the Ripper technically was there, I fucking forgot.
Though it
Yeah.
was though it was kind of odd that the Hamon guys immediately came into the fold the moment Will died.
I guess for backup,
Yeah. No.
because they're like, oh shit, Will had this fucking destiny thing that he knew he was gonna die, and he did. Shit, fuck,
Yeah.
he did it.
No. Though then again, JoJo does have like a strong theme when it comes to Destiny.
Yeah, like Fate's like
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
integral to the series as a whole.
Yeah, kind of like with part three's premonition of
Yeah.
yeah,
Or like
Jotaro's
like
death.
like basically all of part five is about like fucking faith and like accepting it and being better for it in a way.
Yeah.
Kind kinda. Though then again, Giorno didn't exactly inherit the Dio's legacy,
I,
since he felt like more like Jonathan's kid with his
well, I mean like
characterization.
in terms of like with like how with Rolling Stone predicting things about like the people
Oh,
who
that
would die and they're like, no, we're doing this though. We're still doing
yeah.
it, brother. Like Bruno was like, I don't care. I'm gonna go do it.
Oh, that yeah. Well, it's a canon event. You can't change that.
Yeah.
I kind of want to talk about the man of the hour, like Jonathan himself. Just because he is ironically like the normalist, him being the normalist JoJo makes him the weirdest. Uh,
I guess in comparison, it is pretty like stark because all the
Oh,
other JoJos to varying degrees are kind of rough around the edges.
yeah. Though
yeah,
then again, you could chalk. Sometimes you could just chalk it up. Oh, they're just kids.
That's true because like technically, like Josuke is definitely like that, where he's like, ah, he's just kind of a kid, like whatever.
Yeah.
But
It's
there's
like
some
don't.
other people where like, oh no, like Jorno, like, oh, he'll just kill fuckers.
Yeah.
Like that guy, he's 15, he's gonna kill people.
I mean, to
He's
be
gonna
fair,
kill 'em.
he was raised in the streets, so
That's true.
but I kind of like the hero's journey that Jonathan goes through because you see him actually get older and grow, and that's not something you saw with the rest of the JoJos. Kind of that's his standout quality is that he's able to kind of start at 16 and end at the 23-ish, 22 maybe.
kinda. I don't really pay attention to their age.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
they were.
bigger.
Yeah.
There was a time skip, and that like this is the only part that really does it to like a significant
Yeah.
extent.
Because I think chronologically wise, part three had like the shortest time span since that took place over 50 days.
Yeah, because there was a deadline.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true.
No.
Part five took like a week.
Oh, part five. Oh, did oh yeah, you're right.
That's a classic.
It's crazy. Oh yeah, since the moment that they had to deliver fuck I
Trish.
forgot. Yeah, Trish to Diablo, they had to like rush over there since everyone was gunning for her.
Oh yeah, and then afterwards
Yeah.
they're like, "We gotta kill the boss. We can't do this shit."
Yeah.
Brie was like, "I don't like when fucking dads try to kill their daughters. That's fucked up. I don't like that shit. Fuck that. And fuck drugs." Very Japanese fucking lesson there with the fuck drugs part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool that in the context of the story of Phantom Blood, um, even after Dio is killed, you still get an epilogue where you saw Jonathan could have had his happy ending, and it got robbed
Yeah,
away by Dio.
that is kind of the most defining part of part one, or at least one of, where it's just like, oh fuck, he dies. Like
Yeah.
Jonathan genuinely dies,
Yeah.
and Dio, even Dio, with his head is like stunned. He's like, fuck.
I thought you
There
were
is
stronger.
there is like an arc with Dio where he's like, Jonathan ain't shit. To, you know, we were on the opposite sides, and I still kind of hate him, but dude was legit. He was a real one.
I mean,
Like Dio recognizes Jonathan was a real one.
There's
to be,
some mad respect that goes on still.
There
I mean,
was like he was
yeah.
arrogant at first and says Jonathan ain't shit, to getting actually kind of emotional and stunned that he died.
I mean,
It's a weird fucking relationship. Hell, he even took his body because he's like, well, Jonathan's body's really strong and shit. I'm going to
yeah.
take it for my own.
I mean, and to be fair, from Dio's perspective, he gave Jonathan the most shit for about like almost a decade, and he still didn't give up.
Yeah, he still, even at the end, Jonathan embraced Dio. And he was even sad at the time when he thought he killed him, because he's just like, well, that was my brother. He was a piece of shit, but he was my brother.
Yeah.
It kind of turns into like a twisted envy though, where like fuck it, I'll just be him.
Yeah, like,
In a
because
way, yeah.
Dio thought he surpassed humanity by becoming a vampire. But Jonathan proved that wasn't quite the case,
hmm
where he had his just willpower and hormone to deal with him, and like he persevered and won.
Yeah. And I don't think Dio ever respected anyone more than Jonathan. Well, aside from Poochie, but then again,
Yeah,
Poochie was
besides
a part of his
Poochie,
plans.
right?
Yeah. But
Because I think it what it because I think throughout most Dio's life, he never was really surprised. Where he just experienced a lot of shit, people being fucking assholes, especially Dario. And so he made a very cynical and pessimistic viewpoint of reality, people, and whatnot. And Jonathan's like the polar opposite of that, where he's just good and all not. And he overcame despite his naivete, and maybe because of it. And that really struck a chord with him.
yeah.
hmm
I think that's what I love about like Jonathan development too, where like he's very reactive in the first 4 episodes or so, like the first like pre-mansion. And then after his dad dies, he's like full of conviction now. He has a reason, he has
Yeah,
a purpose, and he's willing to kind of get stuff done. I think that's what I really
yeah,
like about Jonathan, is that you kind of
yeah.
you see this shift in character where most other JoJos kind of stay in their same ballpark for the most part.
Generally speaking.
Kind of. Though, I guess like in comparison to other parts, this has been like a slow development for Jonathan to grow into the person he is rather than a sudden call to action.
I mean, you say slow, but like, I think what really helps, even though there's not a lot going on in Phantom Blood, it's also only 9 episodes,
hmm
and it's
But
the shortest part of them all.
I meant it like chronologically, not like episode wise.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think you know, despite all the what Dublin described, all the blurriness that happens within Phantom Blood, it helps that it just kind of, you know, it's only 9 episodes. You can get through it so quickly, and there's always stuff happening in each episode.
Yeah, and then like
Yeah.
even there are anchor points, like the beginnings, the Tarkus/Bornford fight, and like the ending and the epilogue. Those are pretty like when you they are pretty easy to remember with Phantom Blood, and everything else is kind of a blur. But that's not as much left with Phantom Blood, because again, it is the shortest part by far,
Yeah,
or
Mhm.
maybe not by far, but
I mean,
easily the shortest.
it also has like the most simplistic part to where you don't really have to reread everything to get the gist of the story.
Yeah,
I think it helps though, because if you guys are ready to move on to the next part, um, I have things to say about Battle Tendency now.
All right.
If you guys don't mind. So way back then, I asked Dublin, hey, how do you feel about Battle Tendency? And he's like, it's one of my least favorite parts. I'm like, what? But like, Joseph is so good. What are you talking about? And I've been on that train for a long time. And then recently, I took a second look at Battle Tendency, and then that kind of hit me. It's like, man, this part only has Joseph, Caesar, and Wamu, and everything else is just messy and fillery.
Yeah, it. I think my biggest problem of part two is just so Joseph centric. And you know what the fucked up part is? Part two, Joseph's not even my favorite version of Joseph. He's still good.
I was gonna say like I still like
Yeah.
that. It sounds really negative, but you're right. Part three, Joseph
No.
is great,
Part three,
I-
Joseph is
yeah.
great.
I
but
think
I don't
this
want
is
to
what
discredit
happens.
how good part two was.
Yeah, no, but I think this is like the problem of what happens if you have a character with too much presence in the
Yeah,
story.
he really solos most of the fights. Like the one time Caesar fought, he died. To
Yeah,
be fair, it was a really sad and cool ass death, but it was like, ah, fuck.
I mean
That asshole lost, and Lisa just got owned immediately.
yeah, I
You
mean
know, I'll give Storheim some credit. At least he fought. He helped in like the final
yeah,
battle with the fucking
I
UV
mean
rays.
to be fair for Caesar, he almost killed Wamu.
That's
Even
true.
even Wamu admits that he could have lost if he was a step too late.
Yeah, Wamu's like, wow, that guy was badass.
Yeah,
But yeah, like it's kind of like what you're saying, Dublin. It's just that you get maybe three really cool fights with Joseph, and then the rest kind of feel a bit clunky and awkward. And
yeah,
compared to Phantom Blood, right, where maybe you can say Phantom Blood also kind of had that same like measurement of 3 episodes are, or sorry, like 3 moments are really good throughout all of Phantom Blood. That's fine because it's only 9 episodes. But here with Phantom Blood, it's six. I'm sorry. Well, here with Battle Tendency, it's 16 episodes, and there's only about 3 good moments. So it's just like this.
And
What's this whole
and
part
basically
doing?
and basically all of them besides Caesar's death is just Joseph being Joseph. And I feel like if you don't care for Joseph being Joseph, you won't like part two as much. Or if you want a little bit more, part two will leave you wanting.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I think like the other character that has almost as much presence as Joseph would be Strawheim.
Yes.
I
And
mean Strawn.
Strawman's kind of fun for
He
being a
is.
Nazi and all.
Yeah, but he no, but he plays into like the hamminess for it.
That's true, where he's just like, German science is the best science in the world. And he becomes a fucking cyborg, which is kind of sick as fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I talked about how much I liked Phantom Blood's kind of what do you call it? It's so in its setting of Britain, and Battle
Yeah.
Tendency is the complete opposite. It basically goes all across North America and Europe, and this is
Yes.
why I think
Yeah.
it feels messy because the setting doesn't really have a good identity.
No.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean
like,
that and I mean they were basically rushing at that point, just chasing after cars and the others.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
after the gem was stolen,
because it was New York, then Mexico,
then
then like
Italy
Europe.
or Europe. Yeah.
yeah. There was Germany, Switzerland, and Italy involved. I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
uh,
It didn't take its time like part three with a few of its locations.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of a testament to what Battle Tendency kind of feels like. Is that it feels like a very disconnected part. So, with all that negativity aside, I do think I like the ideas that Araki has on paper here. I think even with the three that I mentioned earlier that I really like, I like the ideas of Lisa, Speedwagon still being around, and even like logs. And Stronheim is pretty fun too in his own right. Like I think those elements are like fun and they could have done something with it, but it's kind of what you mentioned, Dublin. This is a very Joseph centered part, and I think that's why he's so much fun in the first 2 episodes because Joseph is really fresh and cool.
Yes, because it's like Joseph is such a extreme contrast to Jonathan, where Joseph will cheat and he loves to cheat.
It's
And he
great.
hates working hard and hard work. That's his two least favorite phrases. Like it's such a unique and insane whiplash from Jonathan to Joseph. And it's really and in part of a way that makes it more fun with Joseph.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like his first fight a lot, because you got to see a
Yeah, the spirit
situation where,
guild is
like,
great.
what is it? Yeah, go ahead and shoot the hostage. I don't care. That immediate attitude is so different from what Jonathan would have been, where
Yeah,
now you're
Yeah,
seeing a
but
different
he,
side to it.
yeah, but
yeah,
then
but he.
you.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say yeah, but then you start seeing like parts of Jonathan when he realizes that Straito actually was gonna follow up with his threat of torturing the woman.
Right.
I'm assuming you mean
Or like,
Joseph.
No, uh, oh no, I said that you see parts of Jonathan like shine through when
Oh, I
Straito was
see.
gonna fall. Yeah, was gonna
yeah,
follow with his threats.
like I think Joseph starts kind of the idea of a JoJo of like being kind of rough around the edges, but ultimately being a good person. Where he's
Yeah,
just like, I don't want to hurt anybody unless they're being fucking assholes. And how you see a part of his like softness where he fucking machine gun Tommy guns goddamn Stratos and like cries where he's just like, fuck you, you fucking betrayed
Killed.
us.
Yeah, I mean he basically killed his father figure for all he knows.
Yeah, like fuck you. You killed Speedwagon, you piece of shit.
and also like you get other moments with Joseph, which are also like pretty great, which is him sneaking into the Nazi base, cross dressing as a, what was her name,
Yeah,
Josephina or some shit like that.
something like that. Some name he thought like in 2 seconds.
Immediately finds Caesar in their like meeting episode, and all Joseph can think about is like, this motherfucker thinks he's so goddamn cool.
Yeah, both of them hate each other at first. They're like, they're literally thinking like, man, this guy's so fucking annoying. They're both thinking that.
Which is a different contrast from like the previous Joestar and Zeppeli, where they were kind of a mentor and like and student figure, and a very like well respected one. These two fucking dudes hate each other, and I think that's such a cool way to start out from a dynamic standpoint.
Yeah, and they're basically treated as equals because they're both training under Lisa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
though Caesar definitely grew up like I mean, well, he did kind of grow up with a bad life since his father did kind of like ditch him and his siblings at a young
yeah.
age.
But he was doing the right thing, and I think he just got murdered
Yeah.
basically.
Oh no, and he never recognized Caesar in the end.
Mm.
He thought that Caesar was another young boy who got caught up in a bad situation.
Ah, yeah,
Um, but yeah, they uh I think about the main antagonist, right? Because this is kind of like the driving force of Battle Tennessee. I find kind of like
yeah,
how Dio was in Phantom Blood. In Battle Tennessee, your characters are essentially the Pillarmen, plus a few of the early ones that kind of get knocked out easily. Um, I think his name is Santiviento. That is the way I want to say it.
Well, no,
Um,
it's supposed to be Santana, but localization changes to Santo
ah,
Viento because the band.
right. How could
yeah.
I forget?
Because like all the fucking Pillar Men are named after bands like Cars or like Wham/Wamu or AC/DC. That's very straightforward.
Yeah.
This was the beginning of it.
No,
But
no, part one was the beginning of it
Yeah, I
because
mean
that's true.
Speedwagon,
That's true.
REO Speedwagon is a band.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, this first Pillarman is, he has a cool introduction, which is like he walks across someone and they're already like torn in half. That was a really
right.
No,
cool like
Fucking
moment.
Wamu.
no, wait, that was Wamu.
Wamu. Okay, never mind. I'm
That
mixing
was
him
on
up.
Santana.
That means this guy's kind of lamer, I guess. That's right. He was getting experimented on. That was him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Santana was like the baby bitch one that
yeah.
after they find out, like, oh, you killed that one, he's the baby bitch of us all. He's the baby.
Funny enough, he never died.
Santana?
Yeah, Santana never died.
What, did he just knock him down underground or some shit?
No, he got turned into a statue.
Oh, yeah.
He should make a comeback. Hey, it's me. Remember me? Uh, that's yeah. I think it's true. They just kind of let him go. But yeah, after he's gone, it's pretty much the Pillarmen from here on out. And
Yeah.
I guess we can knock out least interesting one, but he has a good moment, which is AC/DC.
Yeah, where he just cries about
Mhm.
himself for a second, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Man, you hurt me a little bit. That's
Yeah,
cringe. I hate
but
that."
it's also like, oh, this is how I get rid of a lot of my stress with a good cry.
Right, right.
It's kind of a silly trait for a villain to have.
Yeah, but it also kind of makes sense. When you cry, you get rid of like a good amount of that stress, emotional stress.
Bro was he was letting that all go at once.
I mean, to be fair, he got his arm cut off.
Yeah.
It was probably his favorite arm too.
I hate his gross ass power of like him using his
The hot
bloodstream to
blood.
go into you. Ugh. That's so
Yeah,
Yeah.
where it's just like
gross.
he just
So
uses his veins as a launch pad or launcher.
yeah, though it's kind of like though it's kind of similar to Santana, where he could manipulate his body like to a degree like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where Santana was just kinda like could just squeeze himself into a fucking ventilation shaft, and you're like, "Jesus Christ."
Yeah,
But yeah, no, let's after like he's gone, like Wamu kind of takes I say he pretty much is the rest of Battle Tendency until like the very last fight.
Yeah. I mean, Cars is still there, and he does some shit, but, like, Wamu's so fucking cool and awesome.
yeah,
I think it's always cool to see those like honor bound kind of villains, which is
Yeah,
now that I think about
yeah.
it, it's a contrast to kind of who Joseph is, kind of making him a good foil where, Wamu is more honorable and more about raw power. Joseph is a little lazier and kind of scummier in that regard.
yeah. But I also would say it's a good contrast with Cars, who does not give a fuck about anything, and
Yeah,
he's like,
No,
"I'm gonna do anything I can."
true.
the moment he got the gem and transformed into his ultimate form, he just threw away all of his values
Yeah.
Like, I
at that
guess
point.
in a way he didn't need to, like, lie or, like, put up pretenses, like, he was like, "Yeah, I did it. Let me
Yeah,
just, jam out for your fucking mom's leg that you don't know your mom
yeah,
yet."
and
You
back then,
knew Did you jack off to her, by the way, Joseph? I don't want to talk about it.
I don't know. I mean, back then, he did put up the pretense of caring about nature, but then the moment he unlocked all of his powers, he decides to, I mean, kill a
He
squirrel.
he was fucking around. He's
He
like, "I
was,
can
yeah,
do anything, dude. I Look at me, I got wings now."
yeah. I mean, to be fair, he was a complete menace with the squirrel. I mean, running around and killing Nazis.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's such a strange way to say, "Oh, thank God the Nazis are here." The moment Joseph got cornered.
Oh man, this
Yeah, in the whole face of it, Nazis are part of the good force, technically speaking, and that's not
Yeah,
the best sentence that you say.
it
yeah,
would have been a really really funny moment if Cars like went into like in a concentration camp and destroyed it, and kind of like
No, I
figure
mean,
out the morality from there.
it wouldn't make much of a difference, anyways.
yeah.
Some people are able to run away now. It's like, oh, this is a really weird morality that we're having with Cars here.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
Cars usually deals with. Well, I don't think he deals with like the law of the jungle type of morality, but he just wants. Initially, he wants his race to conquer the sun, and they
Yeah.
just said, "Oh no, fuck that. We deserve to be like this."
Well, most like the only people left in Battle Tendency when it starts is like the four. So he's just like, well, basically, kind of the goalpost has been moved with like, well, they rejected my idea. They're cringe. They're dead. So as long as we win, or at least as long as I get what I want, then it's good.
I mean, didn't Cars and his group killed them though?
He killed his group because they're like the Pillarmans as a whole were like, I don't know, cars. This seems like a bad idea. And then him and like ACDC just murked them, while
Yeah,
carrying like a little baby Wamu and Santana.
yeah.
that checks out. But yeah, every time Wamu was like involved in a fight, it was always good because it was the first fight with Joseph, it was the fight with Caesar, which is iconic in its own right, mostly the ending,
Yeah,
and
the chariot.
the chariot fight. Yeah,
Hmm.
all three fights were great.
Yeah,
And like, I guess jumping a little bit to Lisa real quickly, it was pretty much the most emotional depth you also saw her character was when Caesar died.
Yeah, because she actually cries and she just fucks up her cigarette because she's so distraught over Caesar passing.
Yeah, it's such a probably the best scene in Battle Tendency in my opinion. I think an
Yeah,
underlooked one though is when Joseph puts on the bandana, fights with the chariot thing for a while, and then when Wamu tries to suck up things in the air, Joseph burns up Caesar's bandana, and Wamu sucks it up, which kills or kind of destructs Wamu entirely. And there's so much poetry going into that where it's kind of like it's Caesar's last big middle finger to Wamu, kind of like, you know,
yeah,
a return to sender situation. But it's also
right.
kind of something for Joseph too, because it's kind of like Caesar's still kind of had his back.
Right. It is neat.
Yeah, really great moment. Yeah, once again, Joseph trying to outmaneuver Wamu, all fantastic, all good. But I guess getting into Cars, Cars I think fights with Lisa a little bit, just and off screen
He
and
owns the shit out of her.
practically.
Oh, I think you're forgetting one more thing with Wamu's death.
What happened?
Oh, basically the moment the Wamu was defeated, all of the vampires decides to jump Joseph, but then Wamu says, "Oh no, fuck that," and decides to use lots of his strength to kill any of the vampires that were gonna jump Joseph.
That's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great moment. But yeah, Cars just like once he killed Lisa and got the stone thing, not
But he
killed.
didn't
Sorry,
kill
he did.
her.
Sorry, sorry, my bad. Once he knocked out Lisa out of commission, retired. That's what they use. Once she was out of it, and got the weird stone thing that makes no sense, but whatever, I'll skip it.
The Stone of Object.
Yeah. He became immortal, and I think the entire last segment of Battle Tendency got really sloppy.
Well, that's what happens when you created a villain that's way too strong for your protagonist to beat.
Yeah, and part of the appeal of Battle Tendency is Joseph is by far physically weaker than all the fucking Pillarmen. And the Pillarmen, generally speaking, were stronger than fucking Dio ever could be.
Yeah.
Especially like Cars. And that's even before he got the power. So it's about like how can Joseph use his fucking brain and being shitty to his advantage to win. And I'll give Joseph this. He had a pretty good idea with Cars, although a lot of it was happenstance of like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen.
No,
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think Joseph had a plan throughout the fight.
no, his main plan
true.
was
He did use that to his advantage of like Cars is freaking the fuck out when they're being launched, and he's like, Joseph clearly planned this, and Joseph kind of
no.
leans into that, but he's like, yeah, I didn't fucking plan
No.
shit.
I mean,
Holy fuck.
I mean, at that point, it's like it's the providence of heaven that cars need to be taken out.
Yeah, the man, like Joseph was given the mandate of heaven to beat the fuck out of Cars.
Yeah.
He had to use the ancient Joestar technique just to get out of that situation.
That's true, and I can't fucking blame him because he's just like, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I will say though, rawest quote unquote death scene.
It is raw, where it's just like, bro, just stop thinking. That is like probably the best part about Cars is how he went out in the most brutal way possible of not really being put out, but basically giving up and stop thinking. Like it's a fucked up death.
Essentially an ego death.
I mean, pretty much.
It's ego death, basically. It's pretty fucked up, but fuck Cars.
Yeah, honestly.
Like he's my least favorite villain. He's so fucking boring, dude.
Yeah. I think I think that's like a pretty unanimous thing.
Like him being a hypocrite and not believing what he actually says and just being power hungry, and that's neat. Like in comparison with Wamu, but fuck, man, there's so much even more with Dio, for fuck's sake.
Way more. Way more.
One.
I mean,
dude,
for like an hour.
There's more with AC/DC than there is Cars.
Also, yeah. Also, to be fair with Dio, he had 4 parts of development. Oh, to be fair with Dio, he had like 4 parts of development.
Yeah. Like that, just part 1 alone.
Yeah, part 1 alone. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Cars really sucks ass. Um, some I guess some other things I can talk about some of the other characters a little bit. Um, the Lisa scene of Joseph sneaking on her was kind of funny in retrospect.
It is really funny where he's like, wow, look at her big ass. I'm gonna jack off to her.
Cut
Wait,
to through 5 episodes later.
that was my mom.
Yeah.
And then the ending, he just kind of spent like days. He's like, I jacked off to my mom. That's really fucking awkward.
He has that really dumb expression on his face.
Yeah, he's just like
Oh.
stunned. He's like, I guess I gotta fuck Susie Q to forget about it. It'll be fine.
Oh, and he got a cool ass arm from the Nazis.
That's true.
As you do. I guess I didn't bring it up much, but I think it's cool that Speedwagon is basically like the billionaire that still owes kind of Jonathan an eternal debt or something, some kind of gratitude, right? And he's just gonna help out the Joestars.
The Speedwagon Foundation is the ripple effect for like the whole original timeline. It's even still in active duty for like part 6. It goes that deep.
Yeah. So I think it's great that like even though Speedwagon, the man, is kind of like, you know, you could say he's simple or whatever, right? But like I think his ripple effect of that impact is really cool that you can kind of all pin it down to one moment.
Yeah, where he was like, he was spared and he was like, I owe this man my life forever now.
Yeah. And this was probably like the first time in his life that he was ever shown kindness.
Yeah, mercy of any kind.
Yeah.
But yeah, other characters like, you know, I've always kind of thought about this where like Araki likes to always include some like small kid character usually along the way. And I think Smokey was probably one of the weakest. Huh?
Yeah.
Yes, Smokey's okay. He's barely in the part, so I fucking forget he's there.
Yeah.
A lot of times, because he's in the beginning and like at the end, and that's fucking it.
Yeah. Though the after story, he did become a mayor.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And I still find it funny that in order to take out Strawheim, it took the entirety of the Red Army to take him down.
Right, in Stalingrad.
In Stalingrad.
I wonder if like Strawheim even knows what a World War II is and what's going on. I don't think like
he understands. He understands.
He probably understood. He understood. You know, he probably understood really fucking well though.
I think the only thing he cared about was just like fighting shit and causing destruction.
Well, he cared about World War II because he's like, well, Germany's the fucking best.
Yeah,
that's fair.
But he does really respect people with strong convictions, though.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Like Joseph and that Mexican kid who wanted to sacrifice himself, but then Strawheim says, "Oh no, I respect you. You get to live. The rest of you die."
Yeah.
In such cases.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like, I was gonna say, but yeah, Strawheim is a terrible person, but he's like a great character to the cast.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like he believes awful things, but he did some good shit. So
yeah,
who's to say?
He's dead now.
Yeah, but
he is dead. Araki's like, I made this Nazi a little too sympathetic. How can I course correct? He died in the war. Phew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, then again, it is against the Red Army, so hard to say if that's even good at all.
I mean, Stalingrad was a shit place, so
it was
probably a real bad death.
Yeah, though I do like the fan theory that Strawheim got taken out by a Russian with a stand.
That'd be something.
That's a fun idea. But yeah, like even though there's all these like kind of like neat character moments here and there, and a lot of great memes. I gotta say, Battle Tendency has some spicy memes in here, but
oh yeah.
Not as we said, not a lot kind of happened with this part, despite it being like 18 episodes or 16 episodes long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else to say about Battle Tendencies or really Phantom Blood?
Not really. I think we talked about most of what we want to talk about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I can just move straight into the closing thoughts section. Yeah, the beginning of JoJo. Am I right, fella? It certainly was a
Ooh,
part. It's so weird looking back on this part where it's just like everything else becomes stance, and this is the one time where kind of Hamon is supposed to carry JoJo.
yeah. And hormones neat, but I'm like, whatever.
I don't know, but I do
I
like
don't
the
think
topic.
about Hamon when I think about part 1 and 2, ironically enough. I think
Yeah.
about, like, the characters and their stuff.
Mhm.
Unlike all the other parts where I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, stands." Because
Yeah.
stands
So
are cool and can be basically anything. Well, Hamon's very specific on, like, it kills fucking vampires and shit, and people that don't like the sun, and it's, like, basically a martial art that has, like, rules and shit. Well, stands, the appeal is there is no rules until there are.
yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna say something, Phoenix, or
Yeah. I was gonna say though, Hamon's like future iteration spin was pretty interesting.
Spin is cool. Spin
Yeah.
is the better version of Hamon.
it probably
But
is.
at least, but
Yeah.
also part 7 has stands too, so it's nice. It's like a nice little
Yeah.
side thing,
So
which helps. Well,
it did.
like Hamon by itself is not very interesting.
Yeah. Though it did pop up another meme of a crippled man learned to walk by touching an Italian man's balls.
This is true.
Araki really tried his best to stretch out Hamon's abilities to its biggest extent, but it's clear that he was kind of limited. He started to get like
Yeah,
weird powers that Lisa had, like Hamon hypnotization that was supposed to work on zombie Suzy Q, but uh, uh, I don't know what has to do with Hamon and breathing or whatever, but I guess she has that ability now. So it's
yeah,
it's it's good that he was able to just kind of get out of those confines and really lean into stands now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Since at that point,
hmm,
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna change the subject, so go ahead.
Oh crap, I forgot what I was going to talk about.
It's no issues. But yeah, as mentioned in the first part of the podcast, it's pretty. This is the least bizarre part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I think
Part
Battle
1. Part
Tennessee.
2 is a
Yeah.
little weirder.
Yeah, Battle Tennessee moves
I'll,
up on that scale a little bit, but
yeah, I would also
hmm,
definitely say the least gay parts of JoJo too.
how tragic.
Yeah, part 1 is the most heterosexual by far.
Oh, oh yeah, since Jonathan got
Ending a
married at the
marriage
end.
with a man and a woman, disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, I
Dio
mean,
and Jonathan's energy is kind of weird.
yeah. Though you
I
got,
mean, the toxic yellow does go crazy. I'll give you
yeah.
that one.
Though you also gotta remember that Joseph would have never been born if Jonathan was gay.
True.
uh, but yeah, no. These are. I like looking back on Phantom Blood too, just kind of also seeing how far JoJo has come.
Right.
And as we said, even with Battle Tennessee, which I do have its problems, problems with, mentioned in the Speedwagon section, you still see all these ripples from Phantom Blood and Battle Tennessee just kind of still flow throughout. Um,
Yeah.
with Phantom Blood, as we mentioned, Speedwagon, but with Battle Tennessee, Joseph created two JoJo's essentially.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Don't worry
eventually
about it.
created two. I guess I should
Don't
say
worry
it's
about
a
it.
yeah.
Well, one of them was a grandson. The other one's a son.
Hmm.
Surely the one that's a son's older. What? What do you mean he's? Don't. I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do
I
that.
don't know. I
Oh, he
mean,
did that.
yeah, I don't know. It is weird seeing JoJo's uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a weird situation when the uncle's younger.
Yeah.
You're like, that's peculiar.
Uh yeah, but yeah, do you guys have anything else to mention about these two parts?
Mm.
Mm,
Have you
no,
guys
not really.
Nah, I think we talked about all we can about those two parts.
That's fair enough. All right, I guess we can close it down officially. Uh, 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 I can't think of a JoJo meme. Does anyone got one in their inventory? You thought
I,
it was gonna be a clean segment, but it was me bad segment.
But there we go, I guess. Just as shitty as a lot of the JoJo memes. You really did
Yep.
it.
I really am a JoJo
You
fan
nailed
now.
it. True, I can't read either.
It's like I only know the story through memes.
Oh god, fuck those guys. Although I feel like a lot of people make that kind of person in their head and then get mad at it.
Yeah.
Many such cases that happening.
I think next time in part 3 there should be a JoJo meme section.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
Maybe.
I think that is the part to kind of have it, if anything.
So it does have like a lot of wacky parts though.
I think all JoJo's have like a part where you're just like, yeah, we gotta talk about the memes for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just gonna close it down and say thanks everyone for joining us for Monsters Den. I don't know if I should keep doing formal stuff, but I guess I'm doing do it anyways. Whatever. With me today was Fenix.
Oh shit. Well, I'm already fucking it up, so
Awesome. And
Yeah.
with me today was also Dublin.
Bye.
I've been Hazar if I haven't mentioned that already. I'm tired. Anyways, goodbye everyone.